Hello, ready? Hello, ready? Ready? Sir, okay.
For mobile phones, how to keep them in silent mode. Thank you.
ಎದ್ದೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರು. ಕೇಳಪ್ಪ. May I seek your lordship kind permission for commencement of the proceedings?
Honorable Chief Shri Justice Ritu Raj Awasthi, Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka, companion judges Bengaluru, Dharwad and Kalburgi, Shri Prabhuling K. Nawadgi, Learned Advocate General, M.B. Nargund, Additional Solicitor General of India, B.R. Chandramoli, Vice Chairman and colleague members of the Karnataka State Bar Council, Shanti Bhushan, Venkatesh Karakal, Speer Singh, Assistant Solicitor General, Sri R. Subramanya, Dhyan Chinnappa, Prasanna Deshpande, Srimati Vidyavati Kottu Arun Sham, and Y.S. Vijay Kumar, Learned Additional Advocate General, Vijay Kumar Silvant, V.S. Hegde, State Public Prosecutors, Sri Vivek Subbareddy, President, Sri Ravi, Secretary, Sri Harish, Treasurer of Advocates Association, Bengaluru, Learned Senior Counsel, President, Women Federation, Learned Registrar and Judicial Officers, family members of the Honorable Mr. Justice Ritu Raj Awasthi, learned members of the legal fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled today for most affectionate farewell to Honorable Sri Justice Ritu Raj Awasthi on behalf of the Karnataka State Bar Council and entire legal fraternity of the state on the eve of his retirement from the eventual tenure as Chief Justice in this High Court. Justice Awasthi was born on 3rd July 1960. Srimati Madhuri Awasthi and late Sri R.N. Awasthi are your proud parents. After graduating LLB degree from Lucknow University in 1986, you have enrolled in the Bar Council of Uttar Pradesh in the year 1987 and started practicing in civil and service matters. You have dealt with educational matters and earned a good name as an educational matters expert at Lucknow bench and also High Court of Allahabad. You have served as Assistant Solicitor General of India at Lucknow till your elevation as an additional judge 13th April 2009. You became permanent judge on 24th December 2010. It was a matter of pride and moment of joy for all of us when you assumed the position as a Chief Justice of this High Court. The Bar of Karnataka is highly benefited by your vast knowledge, intelligence, and work culture. You have disposed several civil and constitutional matters and proved to be an able judge. Your judgment speaks in volumes regarding your dedication to render justice to uphold the rule of law. As a Chief Justice of this High Court, your contribution is quite commendable and filled the office with dignity and honor. You are married to Srimati Shruti Awasthi and blessed with son Sri Pawan Awasthi, an advocate by profession, and a daughter Srimati Purva Awasthi, who is working in corporate sector. The Karnataka State Bar Council and legal fraternity of the state is thankful for your kindness in attending the functions organized by the Bar Council as well as other advocates associations, either by physically or virtually without fail. I sincerely hope and believe that your rich knowledge and experience will be utilized for the public good in the future. On behalf of the Karnataka State Bar Council and the entire legal fraternity of the state, I hereby extend a heartfelt and affectionate farewell to you and wish you a happy and healthy retired life. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Yes, my esteemed colleagues on the bench, Mr. Prabhulan K. Nawadi, Learned Advocate General, Mr. M.B. Nargud, Additional Solicitor General of India, Additional Advocate Generals, State Public Prosecutors, and other government advocates. Mr. Shanti Bhushan H., Solicitor General of India, and other central government advocates. Ms. Motakpalli Kashinath, Chairman, Karnataka State Bar Council, and other members of the State Bar Council. Mr. Vivek Subbareddy, President, Mr. T.G. Ravi, General Secretary, and other office bearers of the Advocates Association, Bengaluru. Learned Registrar General, Registrars, and other officers of the Registry of the Court, learned judicial officers, learned senior counsels, learned members of the bar, and family members of Honorable the Chief Justice. We have assembled here to bid a warm and affectionate farewell to Honorable the Chief Justice, who is demitting office on attaining the age of superannuation. His Lordship was born on 3rd of July 1960 at Lucknow to late Sri R.N. Awasthi and Srimati Madhuri Awasthi. He was enrolled as an advocate on 1/2/1987 and practiced on civil and service side and dealt with educational matters as well. Justice Awasthi prospered in legal profession and was appointed as Assistant Solicitor General of India and functioned as such till his elevation as Additional Judge of Allahabad High Court on 13/9/2009. His Lordship was made Permanent Judge of Allahabad High Court on 24/12/2010 and was elevated as Chief Justice of this court and took oath of office on 11/10/2021. His tenure, though short, has been an effective one. He performed the duties of the office of Chief Justice just like a batsman in a T20 match. His Lordship decided 42,583 cases as Judge of the Allahabad High Court and has decided 1,154 cases as Chief Justice of this court. Various initiatives were taken by His Lordship as Chief Justice of this court. Several e-Seva Kendras in various courts were established. The e-Seva Kendra inaugurated in Principal Bench, Bengaluru, caters to the need of advocates and the litigants. His Lordship also took steps to install new display boards in court halls and chambers, which are useful for the advocates to keep track of cases in the court. His Lordship ensured installation of satellite clocks in the High Court to maintain uniformity of timings in the court halls and laid down foundations of many judicial infrastructures. He inaugurated several projects in district courts all over the state. His Lordship, with a view to infuse excellence in the training of judicial officers and in improving their skills, introduced cluster training program for judicial officers. The cluster training program is held by combining 2 or more adjoining districts and ensures interactive participation of the judicial officers on legal issues. The cluster training program, which has already been held once in all the districts, is an ongoing program and has been a great success and provides an opportunity to judicial officers to update their knowledge and improve their skills. His Lordship has been closely monitoring the activities of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. All over the odd number of cases were settled in Lok Adalat during His Lordship's tenure as Patron-in-Chief. The Silver Jubilee celebration of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority was also celebrated, in the month of April 2022. His Lordship has rendered several landmark and notable judgments. I am only referring to a few. In All India Gaming Federation of India versus State of Karnataka, challenge was made to Karnataka Police Amendment Act. The provisions of the Act were held to be ultra-vires the Constitution and were struck down. A full bench headed by Honorable the Chief Justice delivered the path-breaking judgment in Resham versus State of Karnataka and others, and it was held that wearing of hijab is not an essential religious practice in Islam. It was further held that prescription of school uniform is a reasonable restriction which is constitutionally permissible. In CTI Future Corporation versus DuPont Chemicals, Justice Awasthi opined that an Indian court can exercise jurisdiction to enforce an international commercial arbitration award rendered outside India between the parties who have no connection to India in certain circumstances. Honorable the Chief Justice had a long and distinguished career in judiciary for 13 years. He conducted the meetings of the administrative committee with great skill and speed. His Lordship chaired several administrative committees and shared his rich experience for smooth functioning of administration of the High Court. Honorable the Chief Justice is parting with us on attaining the age of superannuation. I, on my own behalf, as well as on behalf of my esteemed brother and sister judges, bid him a warm and affectionate farewell. I am sure that even after his retirement, his Lordship will remain active and would continue to serve the cause of justice in some other capacity. Now his Lordship would be able to spend some quality time with his family members. I wish Honorable the Chief Justice good health and happiness in all the years ahead. Thank you.
My esteemed sister and brother judges, Shri Prabhuling K. Nawadgi, Learned Advocate General, Shri M.B. Nargund, Additional Solicitor General of India, Additional Advocate Generals, State Public Prosecutors, other government advocates, Shri Shanti Bhushan H., Assistant Solicitor General of India, and other central government advocates, Shri Motakapalli Kashinath, Chairman, Karnataka State Bar Council, and other members of the State Bar Council, Shri Vivek Subba Reddy, President, Shri T.G. Ravi, General Secretary, and other office bearers of the Advocates Association Bengaluru, learned Registrar General, registrars, and other officers of the Registry of the High Court, learned judicial officers, learned senior advocates, and other learned members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled and feel honored for the kind and generous words spoken about me. After carrying out my final day of judicial work today, which spanned for more than 13 years, it is now time for me to accept your greetings and say goodbye. I started my career as an advocate on 1st of February 1987 and actively practiced for about 22 years till my elevation as a judge of Allahabad High Court in the year 2009. Like all young advocates, I put in a lot of hard work and keenly learned from the stalwarts of the Allahabad High Court, both from the bench and the bar. The life of an advocate is indeed a challenge, but always I found great satisfaction in the hard work put in and the opportunities I got throughout my career as an advocate, and I thoroughly enjoyed my law practice. I am candidly confessing that the satisfaction and joy it gave me was perhaps even more in comparison to my service as judge. I enjoyed my law practice and I dealt with many important and challenging cases. When I joined the profession, no one knew me. And when I left it in 2009, I had a well-established chamber with more than 5,000 pending cases. I had seen every phase and an advocate. As a judge, it requires a great sense of discipline, dedication and commitment to the work, and adherence to the high standards of objectivity and impartiality. As a judge of Allahabad High Court and as Chief Justice of this court, I am proud to say that I have stood to my oath and I have performed my work with absolute honesty, sincerity, without fear or favor. I have never compromised with my principles. My allegiance has been only to law and justice. Whenever I put on my judicial robes, I have considered myself as a person without acquaintance. I had to sacrifice and balance my social life in order to be independent. However, I feel that it is very small sacrifice in comparison to the opportunity rendered to render justice, which is indeed one of the most noble and pious service in the world. I greatly enjoyed my tenure as a judge of the Allahabad High Court and even more as Chief Justice of this great High Court. I have always treated my appointment as Chief Justice of this great state as a golden opportunity to work in the best interest of the society and our judicial fraternity. I can say with absolute clear conscience that I have served this institution to the best of my capabilities, and now it is time to say goodbye. I have always said that this High Court is one of the finest High Courts in the country, and I got to experience it firsthand. For the last 8 and 9 months, I have traveled many of the districts of this state and found that unity in diversity is indeed the distinct feature of Karnataka state. It is rightly referred as one state and many words. I have cherished my time in Bangalore and generosity and affection that the people of Karnataka have shown to me. The warm and loving people of Karnataka always made me feel like one of their own, and I never felt as an outsider. During my tenure, I have been continuously learning about the rich culture and heritage of this beautiful state, and I go back with great memories of the wonderful time I spent here. I thank my sister and brother judges who gave me their utmost cooperation in order to successfully carry out my judicial and administrative duties. They lavished me with love and affection, and their actions inspired me to continue hard working. The Karnataka judiciary has responded instantly to many demands in difficult times. I commend them for their dedication. It would have been impossible to discharge my duties as Chief Justice without the cooperation of the talented and hardworking judges and judicial officers. Bar is the judge of the judges. The appreciation received by a judge at the time of superannuation is work performed by a judge. It is the hard work of the members of the bar that allows us to discharge our duties in the best manner and continue to teach us and improve our work on a daily basis. I thank the members of the bar who have been very cooperative and have stood by me at all times. I have always felt that I am the representative of the bar in the bench, and I have tried to look after the interests of the bar. I made conscious efforts for the improvement of the bar, and we must collectively continue to work for the betterment of the bar. Our Bar Association is my alma mater, and I owe everything to it. I started my career there and reached to this position because of continuous guidance from the elders and love and affection of its junior members. The only reason I was able to complete the task to my utmost satisfaction was due to the respect and affection that senior advocates and junior members of the bar have shown to me while providing me with crucial support in court. It was because of the cooperation of the bar, both here as well as at Allahabad High Court, that in my tenure as a judge, I could dispose of around 44,000 cases, out of which more than 500 judgments are approved for reporting involving important questions of law. I sincerely thank each and every one of them. The senior lawyers who are skill builders should mentor the young lawyers as they develop into competent and devoted professionals. The young lawyers are the future assets of the judiciary. In order to effectively provide justice to the poor, young members of the bar should uphold the illustrious traditions and principles associated with the profession. They should also cooperate fully with the bench. One must be devoted to the profession, honest with oneself, hardworking, humble towards others in order to be a successful and meaningful lawyer, and most importantly, a good person. Discipline is the most important tenet of the legal profession. The one who has disciplined himself in the profession is bound to be successful. I have no doubt that a vibrant bar with utmost commitment to the profession will create a powerful judiciary with the highest standards of honor and integrity. I have always tried to improve the system, and in the course, I might have been a bit harsh at some times. My intention was only to see that all of you endeavor in improving the standard and become even better and improve the institution. My apologies to each and everyone to whom I have said anything during discharge of work and duties. I thank every officer of the registry, the Registrar General, Mr. T.G. Shivshankar Gowda, and his team of registrars, Srimati B.B. Renuka, Mr. K.S. Bharat, Mr. Manjunath Nayak, Mr. Chandrasekhar Reddy, Mr. Jaishankar, Srimati Chayu Nisha, Mr. E. Rajiv Gowda, Mr. Dinesh NG, Mr. S.B. K. Bhavi at the principal bench, and Mr. Ron Sev Vasudev, Mr. Venkatesh Hulgi at the Dharwad bench, and Mr. K.S. Vijaya and Mr. Dayanand B.H. at the Kalburgi bench. They have ably assisted me with absolute dedication in running the institution effectively. I am grateful to each one of them. I also record my appreciation to the doctors, Dr. Wahid Khan and Dr. Jayashila, and the medical staff working in the High Court dispensary. I had the valuable assistance from my secretary, Mr. Mohammad Ashraf Arish, Principal Private Secretary, Mr. Swami, Private Secretaries at Home Office, Srimati Asifa and Mr. Ravi, and all the staff members in the office and at Home Office. They have taken care of me and assisted me in discharging my duties effectively. I also record my appreciation for the services rendered by the assistant registrars and the court officers, Mr. Satish, Srimati Bhagya, Srimati Vasanta, Srimati Ambika, Srimati Venutha, Srimati Sweta, law clerk, Mr. Saurav Roy, my Jamadar, Home Gowda, and attenders who have assisted me in the smooth functioning of the court proceedings. I also appreciate the valuable services rendered by the drivers, attenders working in the Home Office. I thank the state government for the cooperation extended to the state judiciary. I thank the state government as well as the central government for providing me the necessary security. I record my appreciation to the gunmen and PSOs and other security personnel who have guarded and protected me and my family. Karnataka High Court is having the best protocol team. I record my appreciation to Mr. Kanakraj and his team who have attended to the protocol work with utmost dedication and patience. They have always taken care of travel of myself and my family and also our guests. God has been very kind to me. Whenever and whatever I am today is the blessings of God Almighty. I pay my respect to my father, late R.N. Awasthi, my mother, Srimati Madhuri Awasthi, and thank them for their great sacrifices, love and blessings. I also thank my father-in-law, Shri N.K. Shukla, my uncle, Shri S.C. Dikshit, and my aunt, Srimati Justice Shobha Dikshit, and all my elders in the family who have carved out best of me and with whose blessings I have been able to reach to this position. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the great support I received from my wife, Srimati Shruti Awasthi, who has been my strength and has stood by me as a strong pillar. All of this would have never been possible without her unwavering support. I thank her from the bottom of my heart. I also received the fullest support from my daughter Purva, son-in-law Sashank, son Pavan, daughter-in-law Anshika, and my little grandson Reyansh. They have stood by me through thick and thick of my life. I sincerely thank Honorable Chief Justice of India, Sri N.V. Ramanna, and all the honorable members of the Collegium for elevating me to the post of Chief Justice of Karnataka and providing me an opportunity to serve this institution. Parting is always painful, but I am leaving with fond memories. I shall always treasure the memories and confidence that our judicial fraternity is the strongest pillar of our democracy. The people of this country have bestowed utmost faith on judiciary, and we must continue to work so as to protect the trust of the great citizens of this country and to take judiciary more accessible to all sections of the society. I would like to end by sincerely wishing you all peace, happiness, and prosperity, and the best in life. I shall always treasure the memories of this court. Thank you. Jai Hind. Jalarigu namaskara. Yes.
As directed by the Honorable Chief Justice, there will be no sitting in the afternoon session of the principal bench as well as the usual. Dharwad is the